Hey guys, I'm Tyrone and welcome back to Harrison Family Forum. Today's video, I'm actually going to share with you guys my process and how I go about repairing drywall repairs. We recently had some electrical work done, and because of that, the electrician had to cut into our wall. And so I got two holes here that I'm going to show you guys and take you guys along the journey of how I repair them. So this is our top hole directly below our electrical panel where we made a cut, and then down here close to the floor had to make another cut. And so step one for me is keeping the pieces that he cut out, because I'm actually going to use these to patch them right in the place that they were as they were before. And so these are our repair pieces. Let me get this out the way. See, I got a few tools up here that I'm going to be using throughout the process. And for this case, you need some backer for your sheetrock patch or your drywall patch, whichever you want to call it. And so I'm going to use these metal clips. I just got these at Lowe's. Not very expensive, and I've used them a few times at work, and they tend to work well for me. And they just essentially give you something, if you can see here, to support the drywall patch. And so we're going to be using that along with over here. Excuse my trash bag, but I'm just going to be using, let me find the top of it, kind of a fast setting joint compound. It's called Easy Sand 20. And the 20 represents the setting time. So Easy Sand 20. And I just got this again at Lowe's, maybe Home Depot, one of the two. Gonna be using that. And then as far as for my seams, I am gonna be using seam tape. And this is like the cheesecloth kind, because you have paper and then you have this as well. And so this is the one I'm going to be using for this particular repair. You see I have some drywall knives here, and I won't be using half of these. I just grabbed it as it was and brought it in. And so yeah guys, I'm gonna get this panel cover out the way and then get it set up to do our repair. So first things first, I'm going to open these clips and get those installed and move forward from there. So we're going to install them like this, with the existing drywall on the wall fitting in behind these clips, or into these clips. And given that this is in an area where electrical is present, I am going to put my hand back here as a filler, just to make sure I can make sure I miss any electrical lines. And you want to take that screw head below the sheetrock. There we go. Then we just repeat that process. All right, now those are all installed. Next thing we want to do is take our repair piece and fit it back in the spot as it was. And just by looking at this, I believe it goes. Oh, I forgot. I gotta adjust this clip because he didn't cut straight. Okay, now we're gonna fit our piece back in there. And again, just because where this is, I'm gonna be mindful of where my wires are. So on this one, I'm good from here over that way. And on this one, I'm not going to go above here. I might abandon this one just because I got two wires right there. Again, you want to take that screw below the sheetrock just barely. Okay, next thing to do is break these tabs out your way and clean this up. You just rock them back and forth. Make sure you break off like that. Repeat that process. Now we're going to repeat those same steps on our lower piece. So we're right up against the stud. I think I'm only gonna do one here, here, and here in this case. Because I have this big, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's a pretty big cable right here that I can't, it's not really flexible. And I'm right up against the stud, so those clips wouldn't seat far enough back. So I'm just gonna do one at the bottom, here and here. Hopefully that works out. I think at the bottom I'm gonna do it close to this corner. And over here and up top, I'm gonna keep it as close to over here as possible too. So I might only get the 2 on this one. Yes. Hello. Huh? Sure.
Hi.
You're just so tickled by yourself, aren't you?
Let me show your viewers how much I love you. You want a massage, baby?
Let me make sure.
This is the face of a woman who loves her husband.
Is it?
Yep. Because he can do any and everything. So, you didn't get my text. Oops, excuse me. But I said, while you have your tools out, could you do me a favor?
No. See, I knew the cap was in there.
I was wondering if you can lower the baby's crib because he keeps standing up in it to the lowest setting. But you need a special tool. And I can't remember what
So guys, clearly we've got our pieces in. Like I showed you on the last one, we're going to peel these tabs off. After that, we'll be ready to tape our seams and mud them. All right, guys, so I shared with you that I'll be using a product called Easy Sand 20. And so I'm just going to get some here in this tray and then add some water and start mixing. All right, we're gonna call that good. So next thing I want to do is get my seam tape. I'm gonna tape all my seams, boom, boom, and boom, and do the same down below. There we go, tape is on. And I'm gonna take a look. Now this doesn't have to be extremely pretty. We want to get our seam and just fill it in. Because this is just step one. Alright, let's get the other one going. We're gonna leave them both alone for now and let that dry. All right, guys, checking back in. Our patchwork has dried, and if I'm being fully transparent, it's been several days. Shame on me, but I'm just not getting back to it. So at this point, I want to go ahead and sand it down, get it nice and smooth, and just see where we get as far as putting on a second coat. So I'm gonna start sanding and check back in. Hello.
Hi.
How can I help you?
Oh, sorry. Nothing. The arms on that man.
Hello there. That's me. All right, we're done with sanding. So I'm gonna go over it with one more coat. And actually this time I think I'm gonna use some regular joint compound and not fast setting. Just because I'm not in a rush for time. So yeah, why not? All right, guys, just getting our mud mixed up. And like I said, this is regular setting mud, just Proform joint compound that I'm going to use here. I add just a dash of water before mixing. That should be good. And I'm actually spreading this out beyond my repair. And it's just so I don't have a big hump anywhere. I can smooth it out over a wider area. Same thing down here. I'm gonna spread it out beyond the repair area. Okay. And I think that's gonna be good enough. We'll let that dry and then we'll sand it. Alright guys, so the second coat to our patch is dried, and so now we can do our final sand. And I don't know how well that comes through. If it doesn't come through, that's good, right? But a few high points, a few things we need to just kind of cultivate and finish out. But yeah, not much, not going to be much to it. I am going to be using a pretty low grit sandpaper, and that's just because that's what I have. I would actually prefer to use something a bit more fine, and I'm actually might look for something. I would say at this point it would be okay to use, you know, a 120 or something like that. Initially using an 80 is fine. Depending upon how much mud you got, you might even use a 60, but I try to not leave too much on there that's not going to be purposeful. So leave me for easy sanding job, especially if you're sanding by hand, which is what I'm going to be doing in this case. So I'm going to take a quick check to see if I got something that's a little bit more finer. If not, I could use that. I just have to be extremely gentle with it, but yeah. So I was able to find at least at 100 grit pad. So you see it right there, 100 grit or grit 100. That's how they have it labeled. But yeah, I'll make it work. Won't be too bad. Yeah, I guess I can get to it. I'm focusing on the edges just for a smooth transition from the repair to the existing. I like to move in a circular motion. That feels really good. Okay. Oh, good, comfortable. I guess that's actually pretty good. Now, I am going to tell you, I see one spot right here, which I think is a fastener trying to come through. Maybe a little bit there. But other than that, it looks real good. So I'm going to touch that up real quick. And then that'll be it. We'll let that dry. I probably won't do much sanding after that, but we'll see as it goes. So I'm going to get some more mud together. Go over this one more time. The bottom, I think I'm gonna leave it alone. I think it's gonna do. It's so smooth you can't tell. Only thing now is the texture difference, which is really gonna happen when you paint it, just because of this. It's a subtle texture. But yeah.
Looks great.
Oh, thanks.
It looks really good.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna go over that top one more time. Like I said, I got what I believe a piece of a fastener head and maybe just a little bit of my seam or something's coming through. I see it. There we go, kind of like that. And here. We'll let that dry up, and that's gonna be it. Make sure you clean your tools. You don't want to let this stuff dry in here, so clean it while it's still within its working time. Makes it a lot easier. And then you can let the little stuff dry and then pick at it later, but get the bulk of it out now. All right, guys, so time has passed and this has been able to dry. trying to see if I can show you the part that I need to sand, if it's coming through. So just this area right here, as you can see, the bottom one, I don't know if you can even tell that there was a repair there anymore, other than just the discoloration because I haven't primed it yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock off this stuff and get this top patch, give it its final sanding. That way we're done. I think that's gonna do it, guys. And so yeah, there it is. Now the next step would naturally be, which I'm not gonna do, would be to prime it, and then after that you can then paint it with a matching paint for the, you know, the matches the remaining of your wall. But that's not what I want to do. This whole area still needs to be painted, and so although I might prime it, it's not going to be in this video. But there is our top repair, and here is our bottom repair. Good, smooth, like it was never there. So thank you guys. Hope you learned something. Hope you got something out the video. If you know of a better way, some better techniques that I could have used, be sure to leave me a comment down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, peace.